Hello everybody, my name's Cynthia and here we are again with Encompass in Marina Park. And this is the first time that we are holding what I'm calling the topics. And in the previous newsletter for last month, there was a topic listed there and told everybody to come and tell us what their opinions are on the topic. And the topic is food, free or not free, yay or nay. Free food, yay or nay. And everybody has to either sing their opinion, tell their opinions in a story, tell their opinions in a poem, or in a speech. And I'm really looking forward to hearing what everybody has to say. And now I'd like to introduce Joanna. Joanna, step up. Looking forward to what you've got to say about free food, yay or nay.
Thank you. Thank you, Cynthia. This is such a great idea. It reminded me of a documentary I saw a couple of years ago. Students were looking at how they could reduce their costs in food by actually encouraging zero waste in restaurants and supermarkets. There's an abundance of food that's put in the garbage outside of these restaurants. And while they worked with some of these proprietors, a good system evolved. The supermarket or restaurant would put food in a good way in the container for these students to pick up rather than just tossing them in. And they kept a budget and they were able to demonstrate how there's enough food that gets wasted that we could use. There's some laws that say restaurants can't give food directly to homeless shelters or the food bank. I don't know a lot about that, but just making small steps to make food like that accessible is such a great idea. And I researched a bit. There is an app, something like Good to Go, where you can actually find those kind of places that have food waste that are still good, and you can go to the ones nearest your area. I thought that's terrific. I'll have to look more into that. But there's so much food wasted simply because the peaches or the vegetables aren't totally free of bruises. And I saw in this documentary how hordes of these fruit with just one little bruise were just dumped into landfills. So there's two parts to this for me. The idea that food is available and being wasted, and if we all collectively take care, they actually say rescue these foods from the landfill, we're providing a good service for the earth as well. Thank you.
So I just have one question for you then, Joanna.
Okay.
I have a question. So would you say that free food, yay, but judge on what you've said?
Free food, yay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Cynthia.
Thank you very much, Joanna. And the next person to step up is Loretta. Welcome, Loretta. I look forward to hearing what you've got to say.
Well, I think that we have an abundance of food just in our backyard. Some of our backyard, depending how much we weed it. The herbs and the weeds some of them are edible. And I think that's pretty exciting that we have things just the more we know in our backyard, like dandelions. And I didn't totally come prepared, so I don't know all the names. It's just so wonderful to know that we can have a salad if we want to from what we have. Nature provides. Thank you.
Thank you, Loretta. Okay, so thank you very much, Loretta. Now it's I'll put in my 2 cents worth here. Seeing how it's my topic, I think it's about time I talked about something. Anyway, free food, nay. Aha, caught you off guard. Food, glorious food. We all love to eat it. 3 banquets a day. 3 times to buy it. Farmer stores and the big trucks too, each wanting their pay slips. Cows, pigs, and the hens and chicks all need to be fed too. Food, glorious food, all come from the farmers. We all go buy it, all gone too quickly. Carrots, apples, and mushrooms too, all have to be grown there. We can't take them all for free. Who will pay all the farmers? So line up at the IGA, less food taken than wanted. But we must eat, so we must pay. But who's going to lower the prices?
The original?
Yes.
Well done.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you.
That's great.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you, thank you. And our last speaker for today is going to be Laurel. Look forward to hearing what you have to say, Laurel. Please step up. Yay.
Thank you, Cynthia. And what fun. I have a poem, and I'm going to say it 3 times. 3 different speeds. Inspired by this topic. Free food, farm fresh, fairly found, fondly foreign, fondly foraged from farms. Free fare, fresh flavor, fairly fair, flan, fries, fricassee, fishy fresh, free fish, fairly free, fairly fresh, free food. Yes! Hey, now a little faster. Free food, farm fresh, fairly found, fondly foreign, fondly foraged from farms. Free, fair, fresh flavor, fairly fair, flan, fries, fricassee, fishy fresh, free fish, fairly free, fairly fresh, free food. Yes.
Yes.
Hey, let's see, a little faster here. Hey. Free food, farm fresh, fairly found, fondly foreign, fondly foraged from farms. Free, fair, fresh flavor, fairly fair, flan, fries, fricassee, fishy fresh, free fish, fairly free, fairly fresh, free food. Yes.
Yay! Well done. That's fantastic.
That's great.
Thank you, Laurel. That was just, you deserve a medal for that one, I tell you. That was fabulous. You wrote that all yourself. I think it's wonderful. Thank you very much for that.
A really fun time. Or would you want us to continue with any second round, or are you happy with that, or it's up to you?
Well, thank you everybody for coming and for giving us your opinions. Does anybody else have anything to add? No?
It's a great topic.
Okay, good. Thank you. Well, thank you for your opinions, all 3 of you. And stay tuned for next month. There's going to be another topic. Thank you, everyone.
Being edible, like people take corn food. What's it called? Safe. Food safe. Food safe. So I think when we talk about food, we have to be so careful giving food away because of food safe, and we could be in a lot of trouble by the health standards.
Yeah.
So even popcorn, if you want to give popcorn out, you have to have a washing area for people to wash their hands.
Yeah.
It's like, so knowing food safe is really important.
Yeah, there is.
Good
That is,
Yes.
sure. That's a good thing. There's something to think about with
Yes.
seafood anyway, for sure.
Yes.
For sure. But we're just dealing in surface things at the moment, not getting too deep into it. But yeah, for sure.
There is a risk. And
Yeah.
I think that's why the health department doesn't want the restaurant to take liability of giving food. But if they put it in the garbage, which they normally would, but put it in a nice way, that's kind of a softening of that.
I heard some places just throw out their donuts at the
Yeah.
end of the day.
Yeah.
And that to me is such a waste.
That's what they all do.
It's
Because
like
of
that,
that.
to me, if we could stop them throwing good food away.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think maybe donuts aren't really that important because they're not healthy. but healthy choice foods, if we could try to get them not to throw them away.
I think places are doing that too.
Yeah.
That is being done. I
Their
mean,
consciousness is there now.
yeah. I know that people go to Super Value and IGA to get their foods for Salvation Army people. I mean, they go and get food from them all the time that they're getting rid of. So I think it's happening in lots of places, for sure. Yeah.
Only thing is, there's a lot of food that's not healthy. Like for me, because I have an autoimmune disorder, I'm really careful what I eat. And I think for people that have autoimmune disorders and can't eat what they need to be okay, like to be healthy, because I get brain fog if I eat the wrong foods, and too much sugar is really bad. So I'm very sensitive. So to me, food banks, if only they could kind of get more, and I think they are getting more healthier food for people that can't eat all the flour products, because there's a lot of wheat products being out there, and it's not good for everybody.
The downside of what I've read of how do you call them again, the food
The
banks,
food bank, yeah.
is that we're not addressing the bigger problem of housing, for example.
Yeah.
You know, people need shelter and their own little fridge, and it sets them up for success.
Yes, I agree.
So it's so
I think
discouraging to have nowhere to live and to have to rely on others.
it's our government. What can we do in our communities? Like, I think writing to our MLAs in our area and telling them, what are we doing for the homeless people? I think more letters being written to, like, I live in the regional area, writing a letter to the regional area and saying, what is our area doing for the homeless people? Because there's not enough being done.
No.
And there's also people coming from Vancouver, a lot more people. And so all of a sudden our community has we have a lot more people here than we did. And so the people that work with all these people have been bombarded with more people, and they don't know all of them. So it's like there needs to be more jobs for these more people working here to deal with all of this. So it's really it's a really huge thing going on. Like, we need more social workers and more, I mean, I'm not sure who's all involved, but we don't have enough. So I guess writing our MLAs saying what can we do more of.
And seeing a commitment to it. Because that's another thing about the food banks. While we're feeding all the people, not a lot of action is being taken to remedy the problem.
Yeah, and the thing is, some of them, if we can help them get healthier by feeding them, if we could have healthy food and somehow getting more vitamins for them, getting probiotics, enzymes. So because the more we make our gut healthy, what I'm learning, the more our brains are healthier. And the more our brains are healthier, the more we can focus. If we're not eating right, it's a huge problem for not focusing. So it's like if you're gonna buy gas for your car, a lot of people buy the best, but not everybody can afford the best. But like the oil, some people buy the best oil, but you have to keep your car, working well. I mean, a lot of people going electric, but even electric, you've got to keep it going well. So we should be keeping our body healthy and focusing on healthier bodies so that people have healthier brains. Because I know if I don't eat healthy, I get brain fog. And when I get brain fog, it's really hard to concentrate. So I have that from experience.
I agree.
No. It goes along with what you were talking about, some place to live. is, they can only be healthy to some extent by eating good food. I mean, if whatever food they get with those canned beans, not going to get much in canned beans, but maybe that's all that they can get. And in any case, getting someplace to live. I think they can both be done at the same time. Food and someplace to live, but yes, it's someplace to live. I mean, it's yes, absolutely top of the.
But we
top of
live
the
in
list.
an unaffordable place. I've lived here all my life, and it used to be really affordable. And now it's gone to the point where people that are nurses can't afford to work and live here. So we have people coming from Ontario to work here, and the government pays for their housing while they live here and their food that they eat here. So they're paying more for people to work here. Whereas if they supplied affordable housing to people that could live here, I think in the long run that would work better. So it's like getting affordable housing for people to even live and work here. And a lot of times people think, oh, why aren't people working at jobs? It's hard to find a waitress finding a place to live and being a waitress. It's a huge problem. So,
And there's a formula about spending only so much on rent. It used to be a third of your income, something like that. Now it's almost your total income. So that's why people haven't got the money for food. And so
It's not necessarily people who are unemployed either.
no,
It's just because of the cost of living.
yeah.
Food is speaking for me. If it wasn't for my great landlord, who was very nice, I would be on the street. Absolutely. I'm happen to have a very good landlord, thank goodness. So yes, I can understand how lucky I am. And yes, and feel for those people who have to live in tents in the cold and the rain and know where to keep their food and keep it, and, horrible. Anyway, yes, so free food for all. Whichever way we can get it, I guess it just sums this up. Yes.